How are you doing? I'm Sean. Before I start this video, I just want to say that I'm relatively new to this MBTI 60 personality types, Myers-Briggs, but you could say that I understand well enough of the rarest personality type, and that's the INFJ. Why am I making a video on this personality type, you may ask? Well, that's because I am one. Spending a lot of time trying to confirm if I'm an INFJ or not, because according to the 60 personality test, I sometimes an INFP, and there was also like once or twice that I got ISFP, but that was about 2 years ago. Yeah, I've known this thing for almost 3 years now, and I just don't think I know too much about 16 personality types. But anyway, let's just start this video. INFJs are mysterious people. People know so little about them, and so when we show a part of our character, they would be startled. And it's not because of INFJs executing it poorly, but rather they just don't accept that part of you. Now you may think it's weird because of our second function, FE, extrovert feeling. We naturally shift our personas in favor of other people, and we always want to meet other people's needs. INFJs are really good at reading people. So what's the problem here? Is it because of our sixth function, FI, introverted feeling? But that wouldn't really make sense, would it? Because INFJs prioritize others' feelings over their own. Did it backfire somehow? Were there any mistakes? As far as I know from my own experience, I don't think that's the case. Like I said just now, INFJ's second function, FE, is their dominant function, and they wouldn't want to piss people off. They want to avoid conflict at all costs, and they're successful in doing that. But this is a matter of opinions rather than what you did was right or wrong. And by that, I mean people just didn't accept for who you are. Now, before you have another existential crisis, let me explain. Like I said before, you were successful in not making people angry. So they're not hating you or disliking you. It's just that they don't agree with your opinion or something like that. Maybe it's because of INFJs being reserved and quiet. People don't know much about them, and for them to suddenly open up a part of their personality, people would be surprised. But who is there to blame? When INFJ opens up themselves to others, it means that they're comfortable with the people around them. And sometimes they feel too comfortable and they get carried away. Now, where's the logic to this? INFJs wouldn't be actively using their FI when interacting with people or socializing with people. But little do people know is that INFJs don't just immediately open their whole character to others. That's never going to happen to an INFJ. And the most shocking part about this is that INFJs are only showing a small or tiny fraction of who they are. And if that takes people in the wrong way, you don't have to be upset about it. When something is wrong, INFJs can detect it immediately. But the thing is, their approach in finding the solution to their problems is way complicated than it should have been. Our first function, the strongest function of an INFJ, and I, which is introverted intuition, is constantly battling between whether it's because of this and that will happen, or they will blame themselves for what will happen afterwards. And sometimes INFJs may unintentionally jump to conclusions too quickly. And I know that kind of makes INFJs indecisive, but doesn't that contradict to what they do and how they think? And yeah, that's the problem. INFJs are a walking paradox, and they're full of contradictions. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. INFJs overdevelop and I confuses them, and when they try to reach a logical conclusion, they would use their third function, which is TI, introverted thinking. And so the loop begins, and it's it becomes unhealthy and dangerous. And in some cases, we will be pushed into using our polar function, extroverted thinking, which will bring a lot of stress upon INFJs. And to solve that, as far as I know from my own experience, is to use our fourth function, SE, which is extroverted sensing. We are blinded by our own wits, and so we forget about the things around us. You just have to confront them and make sure that they don't really hate us. Maybe they really don't like that part of you, but in no way that you have angered them. And also, that doesn't mean that your friendship ends here because of that one part. It's more like if you hang out with someone who doesn't smoke but you do, for example, they wouldn't want to smoke with you because that's not what they want to do. And so if you apply that logic, they just don't agree with that part of you, and it doesn't mean that they hate everything about you. And if you're having this problem right now and you feel distant between you and your friends, you can easily get back to them and just be yourself. It's not because your friends are ignoring you, it's just that you are distancing yourself from others without even realizing. Or maybe I'm wrong and you have a better solution to your own problems, or the cause, the faultiness are completely different from what I say in this video. However, as long as you're being yourself, there will always be people out there who would accept you for who you are. INFJs are extremely hard to understand after all, and when we mess up, we tend to solve the issue by exploiting the situation in which it would result in us INFJs being disregarded, because we want to distance ourselves to be alone so that we can recollect our action and to give ourselves a rest. And we're just mentally exhausted from the pressure of others. Okay, this video is longer than I thought. If I had missed anything or forgot to mention something, I'll leave it down in the description below. And if you have any questions, or maybe you want to correct me, please feel free to comment down below. And thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video helped you in some way. And I'll see you next time. See ya.